In today's video, I want to answer the #1 question that I get about the CQE exam, which is, do I qualify to sit for the exam? Hey everyone, Andy Robertson here with CQE Academy, and in today's video, I want to answer the #1 question that I get about the CQE exam, which is, do I qualify to sit for the exam? So in today's video, I want to share with you all of the prerequisites and requirements to sit for the exam, and along the way I'll share with you some tips that you can use to update your resume and your application to make it crystal clear that yes, you do qualify to sit for the exam. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so the first major requirement is that you have to have 8 years of on-the-job experience to sit for the exam. Now there's an important caveat here that your experience must be within the CQE body of knowledge. So what is the body of knowledge? Well, it's 7 major pillars: management and leadership, the quality system, product and process design, product and process control, continuous improvement, statistics, and risk management. So I've created this list of questions that you can ask yourself to help you reframe your experience in terms of the body of knowledge. Questions like, have you ever been engaged in audits? Do you assist in managing the quality of vendors? Have you been engaged in the Lean Six Sigma project? Do you use statistical tools? Have you ever done an FMEA or some other risk management tool? All of these questions you can ask yourself to help you refine your resume so that it's very clear that yes, your experience does fit within the CQE body of knowledge. By the way, if you want to see a full list of those questions, I've added a link to my website below that you can go to, and for every pillar in the body of knowledge, I've created a list of questions that you can ask yourself to help you better define and describe your experience in terms of the CQE exam. The other thing that's important to understand is the educational waiver. So ASQ will waive on-the-job experience for your education. So for example, if you have no higher level education, you have to have 8 years of on-the-job experience. But if you have an associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree, they'll take that into consideration and waive years of experience. So for example, for an associate's degree, they waive 2 years of experience. For a bachelor's, it's 4, and for a master's, it's 5. So for example, if you have a bachelor's, they waive 4 years of experience, and you have to have 4 years of on-the-job experience. Make sense? The other common question I get here is about international education. So a lot of folks who apply for the exam went to school outside the U.S. If you went to an international university, what ASQ requires is that your educational program was equivalent to a U.S. educational institution. In this instance, I generally recommend that people reach out directly to ASQ to ensure that their education will apply, and you can contact them here at help@asq.org. I've included that in the description below, so if you have questions about international education, shoot them an email and ask them if your education applies. Alright, let's talk about the last requirement. So, not only do you have to have a certain number of years of experience, at least 3 years has to be in what's called a decision-making role. Well, what is a decision-making role? So a decision-making role is defined as the authority to define, execute, or control projects and processes, and to be responsible for the outcome. That may or may not include management or supervisory positions. So when people ask me about this requirement, I typically tell them the 4 Ps: people, process, projects, and problems. If you lead people and you are responsible for the outcome of those people's work, that's a decision-making role. If you are responsible for a process, and this could be a manufacturing process, or it could be a quality system process, and you are responsible for the outcome of that process, that's a decision-making role. Same thing with projects. If you work in a project, whether it's a quality-related project, or a Lean Six Sigma project, or any other project associated with the body of knowledge, and you have the authority to define or execute tasks within that project, and you are ultimately responsible for the outcome of that project, that's a decision-making role. The last P is problems. If you investigate nonconformances, vendor issues, customer complaints, and your job is to investigate those things and you're responsible for the outcome of that investigation, that's a decision-making role. So those are the 4 Ps associated with having a decision-making role. And again, the tip here is to think about your resume, think about your experience, and describe it in terms of being responsible for the outcome of your tasks. That way, ASQ understands that yes, you are in a decision-making role. Alright, that's it for today's lecture. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button so other folks just like you can find it. If you want more tips, tricks, and training material, hit the subscribe button. That way you get notified of future videos. And if you're really serious about becoming a CQE, check out my online course, Become a CQE in 6 months, where I break down the entire body of knowledge into daily study lectures with practice quizzes to help you be as prepared as possible on exam day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.